In this video, I will show you how I painted this fun rainbow octopus in watercolor using just 4 colors. So let's get started. I'm using Fabriano hot press paper and I'm painting one section at a time, starting with this arm. The colors I'm using are New Gamboge Yellow, Opera Rose, Carbazole Violet, and Cobalt Teal. Since the arm is wet, I can drop in that pink right next to that purple and it blends really nicely, and then the yellow right on top of that pink. The nice thing about using hot press paper is you can get a lot of interesting texture just from using drops of paint and water onto the paper, and it really helps accentuate the look of the octopus skin. So here on the second arm, I'm just painting that wet first, starting at the tip with the Carbazole Violet, then I add the pink, and then the yellow. And then I do a little of that speckling effect just to try to get a little bit more texture and make it look bumpy and interesting. That first arm had completely dried, so now I can paint that little arm behind it without disturbing the layers on the first arm. Now I'm painting the underside of the arms around those little round suckers, and it is quite time consuming, but it was worth it in the end. I'm using a really thick mix of the Carbazole Violet to create this dark color. By the way, the brush I'm using is a silver black velvet round, size 8, and I love this because it holds a lot of water and also has a very fine point. So after finishing those arms, I'm working on the main part of the head and the other arms. And this is a little tricky because I have to wet a larger area since it's all touching and there's no area here that has a natural hard edge, except for those areas on the tops of the arms where I was able to stop the paint line. And I'll go into that one when this is dry with another color. But I had to paint this whole section as one piece without any hard edges, so I did have to work fairly quickly. It was a lot of fun making this little speckled effect on the head. Just using these colors in general was a lot of fun, and I think I will use them to make some more sea creatures in the future. So I'm still just painting that one continuous section. I made sure I left a highlight on top of the head there for a shine. And I just keep adding some more speckles, deepening the color and the texture on that octopus's head. Right, now that whole section has dried, so I can paint that other section like I was talking about, and I'm using the yellow to contrast against that pink color. And a little pink on the underside. I'm not following any photo references for these colors, kind of just making it up as I go. Now working on the eye. The head area has dried, so I don't have to worry about disturbing that. Right now around that yellow part of the eye, I re-wet the area. I I drop in some pink and let it spread outwards, but I don't want it to go all the way to the edge. I want there to be a little bit of a barrier between the eye and the head. And now some dark purple right next to that yellow. And now the eye in the back, shading it to distinguish it from the head. And now right under that bulbous head area, I re-wet it and I create a hard edge where that head kind of flops down and creates that shadow over the body. Just creates a little extra depth. And I enhance some of that pink color. Then I use my damp brush to soften that paint into the rest of that arm. And now for the most tedious is filling in all those little suctions, and I use the opera pink to color those in. Skipping forward, I'm going to darken that shadow underneath the head and around the eye, just to really make it stand out. In the end, I decided to use some of that cobalt teal. It has a natural granulation effect, so I knew it would create some really interesting texture and just add a little bit more dimension and interest to the two parts of the octopus. So I added under the head and on the tips of the legs or arms. I guess they're interchangeable. The idea of painting an octopus was suggested to me by one of my subscribers. So thank you for the recommendation. I had so much fun painting this. And if you have anything you'd like to see me paint, please leave a request in the comments and I will add it to my list. I have painting tutorials on my channel every week, so if you'd like to see my new tutorials as soon as they come out, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and click the notification bell so you can be made aware as soon as a video is released. You can click on one of these videos to see how I painted some of these other fun and colorful animals. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.